Hey guys, it's Sarah. Yes, I know I'm in a different location. I keep switching spots in my room because I'm trying to find a place to film. Because now since I have this new light, I need to find a place for the light and a place for me to sit. So I'm experimenting with different backgrounds. So hopefully you like my little corner. So anyway, here's the latest news that's been happening in the past couple days. There's been news going around that Louis and Danielle share a house. Because Danielle recently posted a picture of her at Louis' pool, but someone actually figured out that Louis and Danielle actually don't sleep in the same bedroom, they sleep on opposite sides of the house. And that's even if it's true that they do live together. So this says, this was taken the other day. Notice the doors in the back. Her doors are boxed in. This is today. Her room faces the pool. Same furniture and doors can be seen from her window. And this is Louis' room. Louis' doors are straight across, not boxed. They don't share a bed or a room. They have rooms on opposite sides of the pool. So if Louis and Danielle actually do live together, that is some picture proof that they don't sleep in the same room. There's also been some analysis on Louis and Danielle and if they actually live together. So they said, what if this rental is not Louis' but it's Danielle's? On Daisy and Phoebe's Snap story, they posted that they were in London but captioned it at Louis again. Okay, so Louis seems like the kind that would drop everything and leave for his family. In one of your recent videos, you also mentioned Lottie with Louis and Harry. It's possible because they were both MIA. They could have gotten a flight to London. But also Danielle posts on her Instagram story pics of Louis' rental. The pool mostly to make it look more obvious. But she never has Louis in the pictures, not even his arm or something, so Danielle could be living in Louis' rental. But I think Danielle is living in Louis' rental because she has somewhere to stay while stunting, and it makes it look like Danielle and Louis are together 24/7 by saying that's Louis' house. Louis and Harry are MIA, so they could be in London right now with Louis' family considering the twin Snap story. I mean, how else would they get in Louis' house? Danielle has no rumored place where she lives, so she could live in Louis' rental considering Louis is rumored to have another house other than the rental, and Danielle could be renting the place until the stunting dies down. Even before I read this post, I actually considered that. We all know that Louis has more than one house, and I don't really think that Danielle are living together as like a romantic couple. It just doesn't seem right. I mean, I think this is all to make it more believable.
Can your heart be mine?
Also, this made me the most excited. There is news that Zayn is coming out with an all-tell book. Now, I remember about a month ago, my mom told me this because she was watching Entertainment Tonight and they were discussing that Zayn is coming out with this book. So this is old news, but it seems to be presented a lot more now. So maybe it was just rumor before, but now it seems to be more legit. And guys, obviously, if Zayn comes out with an all-tell book, he can't talk about Sara Stylinson or things like that, because they said before the book comes out and before it gets published, it needs to be approved by lawyers and it needs to be seen by certain people. Like maybe people a part of Simon's team. Because I think a part of Zayn's contract, it says that he wasn't allowed to talk bad about Simon. So I think if Zayn comes out with an all-tell book, he'll just tell it from his perspective and maybe what went on with him, but he might not talk about Louis and Harry. But a lot of articles have been saying that Simon is going to be really mad about this. This says 1D rebel Zayn Malik is set to make Simon Cowell howl with a tell-all book. Zayn Malik has horrified Simon Cowell and the world's most famous boy band One Direction by admitting he is writing a tell-all book about them. Although he's just 23, the pop star is putting together an autobiography which is expected to document every intimate detail about the 5 years he spent touring the world with 1D. Famously, Zayn got into scrape after scrape during those years. He tarnished the band's squeaky clean image by twice allowing himself to be accused of cheating on his former pop star fiancée Perry Edwards, and by being filmed smoking a joint and boasting about drug use. Now, I like how this article is putting a lot of the blame on Zayn, like Louis done things like that too. Zayn didn't damper the band's image, like I think all the boys have done something. I mean, all the boys have tattoos, we've had Louis and Harry girlfriend scandals and people breaking up, Niall dyed his hair, so I don't think Zayn was the one who really ruined it entirely. The book is also expected to reveal all about Zayn's on and off relationship with American supermodel Gigi, who starred in the video for his debut solo single Pillow Talk. A source said the book is going to be explosive and Simon will be furious with Zayn and may even try to stop it coming out. but Zayn is determined to reveal the secrets behind the clean image that was always so fiercely protected by the band's publicity machine. So this article is kind of making it sound like that Zayn is going to talk about every intimate detail that happened in the band, so they're making it sound like he could talk about Larry Stylinson. But also, like I said before, part of me thinks that Zayn won't be talking about Louis and Harry because it has to go through lawyers and Simon and all of them. And the fact that One Direction is still One Direction, I doubt that they would have that come through. Zayn was eventually cut from the introductory video that plays at the band's concert, and Cowell dropped him from the record label Psycho. To be honest, I don't even think about it too much because as soon as he left, we sorted him out with a label who were enthusiastic about him, and then my loyalty was back with the boys. So basically, there's no details to when this book's even coming out. There's no details on exactly what's going to be in it. We don't even know if this book is even going to come out because we don't know if Simon's going to try to stop it. But I think Zayn has a right to write an all-tell book. I feel like there's been a lot of actors and YouTubers and singers who have had an experience in the past and now they want to write about it. Even if there's no Larry Stylinson in it, I feel like if Zayn does write about what he went through, it could foreshadow a little bit of what the other boys have went through. And that's why Simon is afraid, because he doesn't want to look bad. Anyway, in Snapchat and Instagram news, a hashtag was going around called the Danielle and Brianna Challenge. And basically what that was is people would take a 1D song of where Louis was singing and they would lip sync it. And the reason why we all were doing that is because Brianna and Danielle did that. And then Lottie mocked them. I think Brianna's done this twice. I think the most recent one we got of Brianna, she wasn't lip syncing, but she was dancing like neck and down. And it was to the song Story of My Life, but it was during Louis' solo. And then we got a recent one of Danielle of her lip syncing Louis' part in Better Than Words. And I don't know about you guys, but these girls are mooching off of Louis' fame, obviously. I mean, it's so evident. They don't just want Louis' company. They don't just want to hang out with him because he's a nice guy. They hang out with Louis because of his status, for his name, because he's famous. So they're using his fame to get themselves fame. That's why Danielle and Brianna are both copying each other. Brianna is definitely jealous of Danielle, but that's why they keep lip syncing his solos. They want attention. So about a day ago, we got a Snapchat of Lottie kind of lip syncing and dancing to a part of a 1D song with Louis' voice, and you can tell she was definitely trying to mock Danielle and Brianna. Also regarding Instagram, we got some suspicious captions from Lottie and Gemma and their families, and a lot of people were linking it to Larry. And yes, that's usual. We link a lot of things to Larry, but it's weird because this was around the same time. So Lottie posts an Instagram picture and her caption says, "Miss the green." And obviously all the comments had green and blue hearts. And then Gemma posts a picture and her caption has 3 blue hearts, and obviously all the comments have green and blue hearts. So I don't know, maybe it means nothing, but the fact that they both commented about green and blue, I mean, everybody knows that green and blue is a big thing in this fandom. And plus, that's not all. Harry and Louis' families have been hanging out a lot, and even if it's not their whole families, it's been Lottie and Gemma. And to be honest, okay, if Lottie and Gemma are hanging out, how can you make me believe that Louis and Harry aren't hanging out? Like, just the fact that Louis and Harry's families are still hanging out, like, on the daily, you can't expect me to believe that Louis and Harry aren't either. I am quite sure that Louis hang out just as much as their families do. So basically, Felicity just had a birthday party. So if we go to Lottie's Snapchat, she posted this, it's the Coca-Cola wall. And then if we go to Gemma Styles' Snapchat, she has the same picture, same wall. So they were at the same place. So Gemma was at Felicity's birthday party with Lottie as well. Also, that's not all. If we go to Daisy Tomlinson's Snapchat, she was at Louis' house and she was in his gaming room. And she Snapchatted, "How do you play this game, Louis?" And if we look at the siding of the wall, it looks identical to this wall of the Rainbow Bondage Bear picture. Now, some people might think that that's overanalyzing because they're like, oh, a lot of siding of walls look the same. But the fact that it's the same wall color and it's the exact same siding. Also, if you look in the reflection of the gaming screens, that room looks very familiar. Like, I feel like I've seen that before. So yeah, more proof that Louis and Harry were the Rainbow Bondage Bears. So it's funny how we get all this proof just from their family members, like unintentionally. I mean, it could be intentionally, but it's like we're getting all these hints that's just making everything unravel. Like, they're making it so much easier for us. So thank you. Okay, now regarding Niall and Louis. Okay, so there was a few hashtags going around saying hashtag Niall and Louis or hashtag respect Louis. So basically, Louis and Niall have been getting even more hate. To be honest, I think they should just take a break from Twitter because I think most of the hate is coming from online. I mean, look at Harry Styles. He's never on Twitter. The last time Harry was on Twitter was just to say, oh, it's our 6-year anniversary as a band. Like, yeah, he's busy doing a movie, but I think he's intentionally staying off Twitter for a good reason. He doesn't need any drama. Also, it's really confusing. Louis hasn't closed his DMs yet, so you would think if Louis is getting hate, he would just close his DMs. I mean, it's not that hard. But I heard he was getting hate on WhatsApp. I mean, all I'm gonna say is that if you're getting hate online, you can easily get away from that. But yeah, Louis tweeted, time to change my number, getting some disgusting stuff on WhatsApp, losers. And then Niall responds, me too, mate, horrific some of the things people are saying. And then Louis says, maybe we should challenge them to a rap battle and destroy them in 64 bars. And then Niall says, that would be way too strong, would take us less than 64 bars, we're so good. So I'm glad Louis and Niall were making light out of the situation, and they kind of came together and they wanted to gang up on the haters. So that was kind of funny, because they were making light of it. But at the same time, when I read this Twitter conversation between them, did you guys think it was a little played up or a little fake? I know the boys have talked to each other on Twitter before, but we haven't seen like Louis and Niall like have like a convo back and forth publicly on Twitter in a while. Like, for some reason it seems staged. This says, Louis' tweet legit confuses me. He has his DMs open but doesn't mind the hate he's getting there, but is minded by some girls who are hating him on the WhatsApp. So wait, you're telling me that his Twitter DMs were open for this? Like for someone to hack his number and give him hate? And then he changes his number? If he changes his number, then someone else can take that number and pretend to be him. So there's a new scandal. So he can say, oh, I changed my number, that isn't me. No, but seriously, I still don't understand why his DMs are open. I don't want any BS explanation for this though. Like, oh, he doesn't know how to switch them off. That's so true. I was thinking about that as well. Like, yeah, he could just close his DMs, so simple. Also, if Louis does have to change his phone number, he has to literally tell the boys and everybody in his contacts that he got a new number. Or maybe this is just to set up another scandal and more drama. Because some people still think that this whole opening the DMs thing was meant for something else to happen, like open up an entirely new scandal. And I'm starting to believe that too. I don't think any of this Twitter drama that's going on is really a coincidence. I think a lot of this is planned.
I've been depending on the overgrown. Too many lies that I never know. Counting my losses as I let them go. Heavy the water as the sink below. Down, down, deep down. Down, deep down. Down, down, deep down. Down, down, deep down. Down, deep down.
Also regarding Niall, here's a little reassurance. It says, update, Niall Pinky promised a fan yesterday that they'll be back in 2017. So yeah, if you guys are still doubting if One Direction are coming back, they are. Niall Pinky promised, and even the boys have said reassuring things in the past. And this is the most recent confirmation that we've gotten. And on my last topic, we got a recent video of Harry saying hi to fans. And no, the fans weren't actually there, it was just for a video. I didn't record the actual video audio, but I have the video and I'll just put music in the back.
Couple of birds kissing on the corner. Couldn't help but remind me of you.
Okay guys, so from that video, did you notice that Harry just looks a lot happier and healthier? I don't know what it is. I mean, he looks thinner. He has this natural like femme glow to him. He's all shaven, and maybe that's because he has to be shaven for the movie. Also, yes, I know I said this on Twitter already, but his eyebrows looked waxed. His hair is beautiful. He's tan. Also, if you look at his cheeks, it looks like he has contour on. Like, he has that cheekbone. Like, everything about Harry, like, he just has that femme aesthetic. Like, he's just really keeping up with himself, and I love this new look. So yeah, even though he has the short haircut now, I feel like Harry's trying even harder to go back to that femme aesthetic. But regardless of Harry's nice features, as I said, I'm just glad he looks happy. And obviously, I know there's more news and there's more analysis, but that's all I'm gonna cover for today. And like always, I make a video whenever I want, so like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description, and I will see you guys later. Bye.